Welcome everyone to Gamersledge podcast. I am one of your hosts, Mark, and also joining us. Say something now, Dave, because your thing's on the screen.
Hey, how does it sound to you?
It's kind of splatty.
Splatty? What does that mean?
It's like it's overblown. Like there's an amp somewhere there shouldn't be an amp.
Like, how about now? Is that better?
I think so. Nope. Is it Dave? Nope. It wasn't Dave. Is it me?
I don't hear what you're talking about, so I don't know.
It sounds kind of like tinny almost.
Yeah, it happened midway through the Please Wait music, and I thought it was just the song or something, just overblown too much for the whatever, but it's kind of held out.
I don't know what happened, but you guys have a wicked echo bass on Twitch. You're better, Mark, but Matt is overloaded.
Oh, no. We probably should have tested this out, shouldn't we?
Well, I can turn you guys down a little bit, and then same for Dave. So, all right, so let me turn you guys down just a bit, and we'll see if that fixes it.
Okay, you smoothed out there.
Yeah, you sound better.
Dave sounded fine to me to start with, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I didn't touch anything on my side, so I have no idea.
It's still there a little bit.
The internets, hooray!
We're doing it live.
Welcome to your podcast troubleshooting podcast.
That's right, and I'll be your head tech, Mark. It's good to see everyone. It's been more than a fortnight. It's been several fortnights, mainly because we've been moving. Matt's still...
Are you still on the same mic? I think that might be the thing.
No, I'm on a different mic now. And if I get really close, then it gets really... Then I blow out.
So you're on that mic. Okay.
Okay, thanks for letting me know, Mr. J. Nice. I will try and work on that extra bass for Matt and Dave. I don't know how to... They shouldn't have any extra bass.
Let's get it on.
You're on not RV Captain. I can't hit the low notes.
So...
They call me Mr. Matt.
Yeah.
Well, to see if we can bring it down a little bit.
I'll get you, get it.
I was just going to say...
That's the last thing I do.
Oh, boy.
5 minutes in and we're completely off the rails.
Oh, we're already off the rails. But it's been off the rails for the last 3 weeks, so, there's that. I am your host, Mark, so it's nice to see everybody. And then, of course, also joining us is Matt. Say hi to the nice people, Matt.
Hi, nice people.
And Matt is doing the artistic 1.8 blurred background focus, whereas Dave and I are going for the natural. Well, I'm obviously not naturally lit, but
yeah. Well, if the reflection off the closet doors wasn't so much, I was going to leave it off. But those are really bright spots, and I thought it would just be kind of annoying, hence the dulling effect.
So there has been so much going on in the last month in terms of gaming news. Games have been delayed again. There's all kinds of stuff. So we're going to get to that, but first we're going to go around the room, do what we always do, talk about what we've been doing since the last podcast, which was legit over a month ago. So it has been a month, and the last one was the three of us. So we finished moving into a very nice house where everything's broken. So that's fantastic. We're still sorting through that. We have no refrigerator at the moment. Well, we have mini fridges, but that, we don't have like the big refrigerators actually broken. So,
like everything broke in the move, or everything that was a part of the house is non-functional.
Yes, the second one. So that's been great. We've been working on that, trying to get stuff put together. Because we also went from a furnished house to a unfurnished house, which means that we have nothing. Because we went from a 1-bedroom apartment to here, so we had nothing. And now we have some things, and they're in pieces, and we're putting them together, and that's part of my what I've been playing list is that stuff.
Is IKEA furniture.
Yeah, it's not IKEA, thank God. But the last big project, which we are about to start, I believe, at the beginning of next week, is building a 5x7 gaming table. And it's going to have, like, I've got the power.
That seems really small.
Not 5 inches by 7 inches, 5 feet.
That makes so much more sense.
7
Thank you.
feet. Yes.
And if it's Mark, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was yards. It could have been a 5x7 yard gaming table, and that would be,
I don't have enough room in here for that, sadly. But the good news is that I now have my own studio. I am sequestered away from the rest of the house. It does not matter how much noise I make; they cannot hear me. So that is awesome. But yes, we're going to start this table. We upgraded all of the audio equipment that we've been using for years to full-on mixer boards and expensive mics and monitor headsets, and we're going to build all that into the table. So it will double as a multiple-person podcasting table, as well as a functional table, as well as a gaming table. And I've got the electrical outlets over there. Each station will have 2 power outlets, 2 USB Type A's, and 1 USB Type C in the outlet itself. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, and all this other stuff, which you can't see. But if I were to pan, I can't do it. But if I were to pan down, you would see all I have is mixers and cords and headphone things on this little tiny table that I'm using to broadcast right now. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. So, yeah. So let's start with what have you been up to, Matt, for the last month?
All right. Well, I threw down a few things. I kind of think this is the highlights. Obviously, there's probably been more that I don't remember because I didn't keep track of it as I went along. But on the game front, I've been playing Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I played the first 2, hadn't picked up the third one. It was on sale, and I finally got around to playing it. I think I'm about halfway, maybe a little over halfway through. It's pretty good. I still think I liked 2 better than this one. But overall, if you like the previous ones, there should be nothing here. This is the complete edition, so it's got all the extra tombs in it. The extra tombs are a little, I don't want to say puzzly because they're not hard. They're just frustrating to execute. But of course they're optional. But lots of times there is useful stuff at the end of the tomb in terms of abilities or gear.
One quick thing. Mr. J Nice, let me know if he sounds better. I am actually changing the input stream which you guys are on. It did have some bass effects and a couple other things, so I'm trying to turn those on and off selectively to see if it makes a difference in your audio. So let me know, Mr. J Nice. Thanks.
Copy that. So yeah, if you like the first 2, I'd recommend it. Little thing I didn't know is my wife was sitting there while I was playing one of my sessions one time, and she's like, "Who is the actress that plays Laura, the main character, Laura Croft?" And that voice sounds really familiar. I'm like, "Well, I don't think it's anybody you would recognize." And so I had to look it up because I didn't know. And lo and behold, it is an actress that plays a main character on Grey's Anatomy, where she distinctively does not have a UK accent, or where she does in the film, and she actually is a dual UK American citizen, I found out. But after that, now every time we're like analyzing how she says things and stuff, and it turns out, it's detectable. I don't know how she pulled that out of that, but somehow she did. Probably because she's watched way more Grey's Anatomy than any one single human being probably should have ever in their life. Let's see. Then other things. I finished up the DLC. I don't remember if I had done this last time or not. Finished up the DLC and all the trophies on Control. So I 100%ed the 2 DLCs trophies. I had previously platinumed it. Love that game. That is a really, really, really good game. Love that story. There are people out there that think the story is incomprehensible in so much as some of the stuff is never explained if you need everything explained, but that's the kind of the thing. It's not that kind of thing. You're working in weird, spoopy, supernatural stuff, and it should not be explained because that takes away the spoopy. So yeah, no, it's a really, really good game. It's really well made. There are a few odd choices throughout the game, but they don't really detract from it at all. And it looks really, really good on PS5. Ultimately did end up running it in the high frame rate mode, but if you run it in the graphics mode with with all the ray tracing and stuff, some of the lighting effects and reflections are pretty insane in that game, even without it. So with it, it's pretty intense. But yeah, I kind of hope they get the chance to make a sequel to that because, and you know, there's other things it's tied into one of their other games. I don't want to be too spoilery. I don't think it's really kind of fair at this point to consider the spoilers, but it is tied into another game series of theirs, which I've never played because it was locked on a certain system that I've never owned one of. So, kind of hoping, sounds like there might be a sequel to that one coming out too, and hopefully if they do, they'll do a remaster of the original, and I'll be able to go ahead and do that. Then we did start back up our Divinity Original Sin 2 game this past Monday. We all forgot how to play for a little bit, so it took a little bit of warm-up there to get everything back and flowing and remember what skills we did and didn't have loaded and all that stuff. I tell you what,
though, we had Ken on fire in no time.
Well, yeah. I mean, no, you never forget how to set Ken on fire. I mean, that's just, granted. But unfortunately, Ken has
just a role of a third person to be set on fire. I mean,
it's like the only element. The game begs you to set things on fire. It really just kind of does. It's just, I don't know what it is, but it is like the element that just begs.
But specifically, not you or Mark. It's always the third person.
No, fourth person.
Well, there's 4 people, but we're squishy mage types. He's a buffy melee type, so
and
we can set him on fire, and it's fine.
Okay, that's weird. I turned all you guys' processing off, and there's still echo on your side, but I'm Crystal. I don't know what to do, but yes, thank you for letting me know.
I am coming through the headset, right? I didn't double check that.
I don't hear an echo, but Mr. J Nice is saying there is one on the stream. So, and unfortunately now, because of the way I have this set up, I can't go check the stream without it going through the processing board. So I can't listen to it discreetly.
Okay, you couldn't hear me there, right?
No, couldn't hear you.
I was just making sure I'm on the right microphone. Okay. Well, I'll, sorry, I don't know what's causing that, but, okay, so then the other thing I did during the break and recently is I have been playing Fortnite. I've found a couple of good patterns that'll get me usually to the very end, in solos. Most of it involves hiding a lot. But yeah, I can pretty reliably get to top 10, and I can more times than not get to second place, and I'll eke out a win every once in a while. It depends on how much building the other person likes to do, because usually if they're a builder, I'm hosed. But otherwise,
Hold on one second. Hold on one second, Matt.
Sure.
I don't know what to do, but yes, thank you for letting me know.
I am coming through the headset, right? I didn't double check that.
Whatever you just did was bad.
I don't hear an echo, but Mr. J Nice is saying there is one on the stream. So, and unfortunately now, because of the way I have this set up, I can't go check the stream without it going through the processing board. So I can't listen to it discreetly. I have no idea. I don't know what to do, but yes, thank you for letting me know.
I am coming through the headset, right?
Wow, you're like super.
Yeah, I'm overblown bad.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine.
Well, no. Again, we're not hearing it, but the stream is. And so
but I even heard like it sounded like, my speaker was blown out.
No, that's because Mr. J Nice clipped it for me, and I was playing the clip. But
yeah, it took me for a while to figure out why I was hearing myself.
Nice.
Trying to figure out how I can say something for a second, Matt.
I am going to say something for a second, Matt.
Okay, say something again for a second, Matt. Okay, say something.
He's not a man, he's a chicken. He's not a man, he's a chicken. He's not a man, he's a chicken.
That wasn't quite what I was going for, but all right.
Yeah, but I think we got an idea.
Crap. So I know it has to be you guys coming through Zoom, feeding into this, and I'm hearing it somehow. I'm hearing it mixing at the board.
Charlie.
I'm wondering. 1 second.
Oh, cats.
What are you doing?
Cats.
So, mister, there are no what in America?
So, you have no effects on. Let's change you to none. Let's go to presets none. Let's see if that fixed it. Go ahead and talk for a second, Matt.
I am talking for 1 second. I am talking my radio voice. I am talking my radio voice. I am talking my radio voice.
Did you fix the none yet?
Oh boy.
I'm trying to try talking again, Matt.
Hello.
Talking again, Matt.
I am talking again. Hello.
Again,
I am talking again. Hello. I am talking.
Talk now, Matt.
Bark, 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 bark. Hello?
That's
Hello,
probably.
hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I see a putty tat. I thought I saw a putty tat. I did top tat.
I got it. I think I know what it is.
Jiggle the wire.
Nope.
Turn the knobs.
Nope.
Hold
on. I think I know what it is.
Did you articulate the splines?
I'm trying to fix it right now. Kill. That may answer that question for the future. Okay, so Matt, you are now back where I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, hello.
Go ahead and keep talking.
Okay, hello.
Go ahead and keep talking.
Okay, hello.
Go ahead and keep talking.
Okay, hello. Go keep talking.
Hold on. Try again. Okay, in a second. Try again. Give me a pause and then start talking. Pause and then start talking.
Okay, I'm going to talk now. And I will stop talking. I'm going to talk now. And I will stop talking.
I fixed it.
Now.
Okay, great. I know what the issue was. It was Beagle Live was causing feedback, and I have since killed it. Hooray! Thank you, Mr. J Nice, for your helping. I'm turning all these cool presets for your speech back on, so you all have the super sound effects and stuff again. And you do. There you go.
Okay.
So
where were we?
Yes.
Oh yes, Fortnite. And I broke my golden rule, and I bought something on Fortnite because those sons of guns put Aloy on there, and there was a really cool Glint Hawk glider, and that it was more to bust buy Aloy and the Glint Hawk glider than it was to buy the stupid bundles, stupid Fortnite.
I'm actually surprised Dave has still managed to hold out, coming over to the Fortnite dark side. The issue is back from
What kind of game is it?
Are you trolling or are you being serious?
No, it's like a third person shooter type of game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At its core.
At its core, yes, it's a third-person shooter. There's also a building element to it. There you can build structures in the middle of the game for
You have to
protection.
play like online with a whole ton of people that have been playing the game for years, right?
Well, yeah, okay, dude, you did hear in singles that I can make it up to like second place, and I am not good at shooting people games.
This is. There's not being good at them, and then there's not being good at. Dude.
Uh-oh. Still no good, huh?
Or is it just me? I just kind of sound like that, dude.
It's both of you, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
I blame Fortnite.
Yeah. See, this is why I don't play Fortnite.
I'm thinking about this. I've got the USB out. Okay, hold on. Let me try.
You want to reinstall your OS while we're waiting?
So I've got it set to the microphone being the mixer. But I also have it set to the speakers being the mixer. But that's how I'm able to control you guys' volume, but I don't really need to. I just don't know if I will hear you or not since I'm wearing the monitors that run through the microphone if I change it to something else. If I... Shut up, Dave.
No, we should really test stuff.
Well, this is the first time that
Hey, not the whiskey cat.
that I've gotten feedback from anybody about it. So I appreciate that because this was the whole purpose of this setup of getting it. So I'm trying to figure out what to do now because I'm coming through all right, but you guys are coming through super echo. And it's got to be a post-processing problem on this side. Go ahead and, sorry, I know it's a weird thing, but go ahead and continue, Matt, and I'm going to look up some troubleshooting.
Is it better if I talk softer? Is it blatting out if I talk softer? Does that work better? Do we know?
We need to get this fixed. We're bleeding listeners right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay. So anyway, that was basically it for the video game front. I'm sure I've done some other little stuff here and there, but the sales keep tempting me to buy stuff because they keep having sales, and I'm staying strong. Although I will eventually buy the clone trooper shooter that I can't remember what it's called right off the top of my head because Republic Commando, because I never got to play that because that was Xbox exclusive, but I haven't bought it yet because I have 20 gig backed up.
I'm wondering if it's as good as I remember.
Probably not.
But
it was one of the first ones to pioneer squad controls, or at least one of the first good ones to do squad controls.
I remember it being a good game. But I'm also remembering, that was back in, we're talking Xbox One.
Original Xbox, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Stupid naming convention. But yeah, I remember it being pretty cool.
It got a lot of hype back in the day, and it was a lot of excitement about it getting a remaster. So I will get to it. I just not yet. On the TV front, the regular TV seasons have kicked back off again. So we've been watching Prodigal Son and The Rookie. They're both pretty much more of the same. If you like the previous seasons of the show, you should be good to go with the new ones. Obviously, they all touch on COVID somehow. They all touch on different social issues that have erupted since the previous seasons ended. Oh, and also, not caught up on this one yet, but The Good Doctor, also working on that one. So on the streaming side, I finished The Magician Season 5. While if they had stopped at Season 4, that would have been the greatest series finale of all time with the final episode of Season 4. They managed to not screw up Season 5. Yeah, it was always this kind of worry after you got this big, awesome finish like they did in Season 4, that if they're going to come back for another season, which immediately after they announced the season was coming back, then they announced it was also going to be the final season. So they worked up a really good season, and they had some good. They had 2 major arcs and 4 minor arcs, so it kept moving pretty well. And yeah, Mark, you'll enjoy it when you get to it. I'm up to episode 19 of Demon Slayer. That's a 26 episoder.
What do you think so far?
I like it, but I'm hoping the support characters tone down a bit after I get through the part I'm in, because they're very Japanese names, and I'm having a very hard time remembering anybody's name in this. There's Tojiro and not Sasuke, because I keep on wanting to call her Sasuke for stupid reasons, but the sister. But then there's the Z guy, who is nothing but absolute annoyance, and then there's the I guy, who is also pretty much nothing but pure annoyance. And then there's not Michael Jackson, who we haven't seen very much of, and then he's pretty awesome though. I like him. And then there's not Obi-Wan, and he's pretty awesome too.
Yes.
So I need more not Obi-Wan. He's finally shown back up in my life, and he's actually more like a hybrid of Obi-Wan and Anakin, which I think makes him like doubly awesome. But
yeah, it should have fixed it for both of them since they're both on the same channel. Dave, can you say something real quick?
Yes, I can. What would you like to talk about? It's been a while, buddy.
It's been a while since I... Okay, I'm good. I think that should suss it out, because I think I fixed it.
okay.
Can you ask Matt if he's getting the HZD skin for Fortnite? Yeah, he already got it.
Yep, I got both variants because I
it.
bought it on PS5, so I got both variants. But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Demon Slayer. So yeah, what's his name? His name is Giyu. Is that the one alpha ranked hunter's name? The one that actually turns Tojiro to the guild? Is that his name? Giyu, I think. Anyway, yeah. Love that guy. So I'm in the Spider Saga right now, if you've watched it. Yeah. So that's what I'm in right now. So yeah, the guy who wears a bull on his head for reasons other than the obvious reason, apparently. But
wait, did you say whatever. Demon Hunter or Goblin Slayer?
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Yes.
So none of the above. Okay, got it. Yeah, no, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You haven't seen Demon Slayer?
I totally heard Goblin Slayer, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's about the right number of episodes and everything. So I was like, yeah, yep.
Okay, so that's why none of this is making sense to you.
No.
But yeah, I'm surprised you haven't seen Demon Slayer. The animation in it is amazing. I mean, we're talking OVA or better quality animation for a regular series show. So it's pretty amazing there. So the sound... Sorry, I forgot to mute my phone. The sound, the color, the animation is all top notch. The Japanese voice work, I'm watching the Japanese track, is really, really good. The characters all have incredibly Japanese names, so I am having a hard time remembering people's names, because I don't even have like a touch point to grab onto for most of them. Yeah. So I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of it. It's basically it's not really a traditional shonen, but that's as close as I could come to what it would fall under as a shonen category.
I will have you know, just because this is a good point to talk about that, I finally connected with one of the players in our group, and he's basically doing an isekai. Legit.
Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that'll be interesting to see how that gets played. And then the big thing, I guess, that I've seen since we last talked was I did watch Monkey versus Lizard. And it was about what I expected. Godzilla versus King Kong, if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about. It's about what I expected. I was not expecting 2 human arcs to be going on during there. The Millie Bobby Brown arc was pretty much completely pointless. It didn't really need to be there at all.
A pleasant surprise that they threw extra human interaction in that movie.
In your Monkey versus Lizard movie? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, I was like, oh, if I wanted, this level of, disappointing monkey action, I'd have played Halo 2.
Just remember, if you don't like the Millie Bobby Brown storyline, that's your prerogative.
Oh boy.
Oh my god, I did not actually miss this.
But overall, it's about what I expected. I'm not in the camp where I think, yeah, there could have been more monkey lizard action, but it wasn't to the point where I was like supremely upset, like some people seem to be about the level of monkey lizard action. Based on what we'd seen from the other movies, actually, I think we got a bit more than we could have based on previous efforts.
Oh yeah, they could have really dialed it back.
But I think we got a decent amount of action out of it. It's silly, it's goofy, but I mean, it's what the other ones were, right? I mean, it just, I mean, with the exception of the first Godzilla movie of this arc, which was pretty serious, but was almost all humans, it was well within what I expected of it. And in that sense, I was entertained. And there is a giant murder beast staring into
I know, it's like a kaiju.
Giant green-eyed murder beast. So yeah, that's
Mr. J Nice says the kids plot line took way too much from the movie for me.
Slightly.
They would have been fine with just one of the two arcs. I mean, every kaiju movie has a human arc in it, right? I mean, they all do, because the kaiju don't talk. But that didn't need both of those arcs. It could have been just one or the other, and really it could have only been one, because that one was intricately tied to one of the characters. But anyway, I finished Light of the Jedi. I don't think I'd finished that the last time we talked. It's overall was disappointing, but it wasn't as bad as some of the previous earlier Star Wars book stuff after the Disney acquisition. So I'm not off the boat yet. The book got a lot better in the back half. It got to the point where I almost think that there were two authors at some point.
It started off rough, didn't it?
It's very rough. The first part one, it's a three-parter. It breaks it into 3 acts. The first act is incredibly rough. And I will say, even throughout, the dialogue is
awful,
but later, the first act, the dialogue is awful, the narration is awful, and there's not really any meaningful action. In the second and third acts, you get really good action description, really good space battle description, really got some good dialogue in there. Actually got people that are talking like they might have been not human, but sentient species at some point. But the narration still suffers. It's just like, it got to the point where I feel like it was a kid who had a word count for an assignment due, and so just starts throwing in random words and repeating themselves over and over again just to try to get to the is she eating you? I'm concerned for your well-being here. It looks like she's like nomming on your arm.
When Weebs attacks.
Yeah, this is Charlie.
That's Charlie.
Oh, sorry, Charlie.
Is Charlie he Charlie or Charlie she Charlie?
No, it's a Charlie he.
Okay, well, he looked like he was trying to eat your arm.
He's a big boy.
He's a chonky chonk. Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard that a gathering of chonks is called the Chungus.
Nice. Yeah, that's fairly accurate.
Okay, but so it's not great. I am enjoying the comics tie-ins so far into that universe, and I have the young adult book over there waiting for me to read after I get through the other book, which I'm working on currently, is Babylon's Ashes, which is book 6 of the Expanse series. I am officially further in the books than the TV show now, so I am in uncharted waters. This one took a while to get going. The first half of the book is very much more a political thriller than it is a sci-fi sci-fi book. And then the second half, we're getting more into the action, spaceships, people chasing each other, that kind of stuff going on more in the second half. There's definitely still a lot of political tension and stuff going on, intrigue in that sense, because of the state of things are in. But yeah, it's very interesting having seen season 5 and now having read book 5 in parts of a little over half of book 6.
in how they mushed that all together and how they've done things interestingly, especially when we thought that they were going to try to stay closer to the books, and they've really kind of just mushed everything into a big pot. And it still works for both, but it's just interesting how they've taken events and twisted them into a different shape. Whereas the first really 4 seasons were pretty dang close. We could debate that for years, but anyway, still recommend the books. It's still probably the best written sci-fi series in a very long time. So still recommend it. And then on the comic front, I did pick up 2 trades of one is a Boom and one is an Image published book. So I picked up Big Girls Volume 1. It's written and drawn by Jason Howard, who has one of those, very hard line. Of course, the Image is messing it up, but has one of those very hard line.
Don't be so hard
styles.
on the publisher.
Yeah, but it's basically there's a disease that has come out that churns certain male children into kaiju, and there are females that stay human but turn giant, and they have been recruited to fight the kaiju to protect the safe zone and what goes on there. I'm not in love with it, but if they do have a volume 2, yeah, I know. It's one of those things. It's an interesting setup. Whatever Act 2 does, I know. Whatever
I'm not in
Act
love
2
with it.
does,
I'm not in love with it. 9 out of 10, Gamersledge.
I'm not. And I would say if anyone can borrow it from someone to read it, I would say borrow it and read it. If you like it, go ahead, buy it and support them. But it'll really depend on where volume 2 goes. And then I also got volume 1 of We Only Find Them When They're Dead. So you gotta love these titles because they're getting nuts. This one is written by Al Ewing, who's obviously known now for his Immortal Hulk. And the art, I'm gonna give this a go. I think it's Simone DeMille. That's as close as I can get without having actually heard the art. But the art is very okay. The entire book is very confusing. The storyline is confusing. The time jumps are confusing. The art is confusing.
9 out of 10, Gamersledge.com.
9 out of 10, Gamersledge.com. I think I liked it, but again, I'm not sure. These were not big slam dunks for me. These were very weird. This one's weird. This one's just flat out weird. That one was just okay, you went a direction I didn't expect you to go, at least not that fast, and now what have you got left to do? I'm not sure. This one just it's very colorful and it's a very stylized style, and there's a lot of motion, and they do motion blur in the art. And so it can be very hard to tell what's going on. And I had to reread pages several times to figure it out.
I would think you'd like that.
What, that it?
The motion blur background?
Well, it is. It's more when it blurs the foreground, right? So, that's the problem.
Matt, look at your screen.
Oh, except it's static blur. That's different. I guess, yeah, it's static in here too, right? Because it's a picture. Anyway, the premise is the universe, or the human race, is on the verge of not having any supplies left, and all of a sudden a giant being, which they are calling a god, appears in space, and it's dead, and so they start mining the gods for resources. And so these different crews all go in, try to stake a claim whenever a god appears, so that they can, chop it up and sell the parts off that they fill their hold with. But there's history, and there's someone who wants to not see a dead god, who wants to see a living god, not a dead one. And these things are etherically beautiful, right? They're unbelievably they're humanoid but giant, like Galactus sized,
Mhm.
and incredibly beautiful. So there's stuff that happens. It's harder to say much more than that.
Do you know where they got that idea from? Nowhere.
But yes, you're not wrong.
I mean,
Except, they're still fleshy, not, just a floating head.
oh,
That's, but
Nowhere was fleshy at one point.
well, fleshy
They
at one
mined him.
point. Yes. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So that's it. I'm done. That took way longer than, well, of course there was a giant interruption there, so it's not all my fault, but okay.
No, yeah, no, totally the fixing the tech part. Hi, Dave.
Hi.
How are you with no motion blur behind you?
Doing okay. I probably would have the blur on if I wasn't using the old computer.
What have you been up to? What have you been reading? What have you been watching? What have you been playing?
Stuff. I'm still slogging through that Star Wars book, so Matt finished it before me. I
started
read
like a solid 2 months ahead of me.
I know. Once it became a slog, I really struggle to try and finish. There was a point in the beginning where I almost closed it. It was like, I don't even think I was like 5 pages in, and there was just cringy, horrible.
The first command of his ship, or the second command in his ship, and the first in command of his heart? Was it that line? Because
that was the line.
That's pretty bad. Yeah,
that was exactly the line.
That's pretty bad. Yeah.
I literally closed it. I have the Kindle with the case, so it makes it feel like a book, and I slammed it shut, and I was like, we have a decision to make. Do I continue with this? And I fired off an email to my friend who's a writer, and I was just like, I just need your opinion on this. Do I slog forward, and we were just like, he was just like, oh, that is awful.
The funny thing is he's written a couple of different of the comic series, and they're great.
Yeah,
and I've come to think it's dialogue he writes well. It's the prose that he struggles with.
And that's the thing.
I don't know. That sounds like a winning line to me. I'm gonna quote it all the time now.
Oh,
second in command of my ship, first in command of my heart.
Yeah, it was awful. And then, I don't want to spoil anything, but building up something and just having it go poof, really kind of annoys me.
Wait, Star Wars does that?
This was bad. This was really bad. But it got it got better toward the middle. But it's just like I feel like I'm punishing it for taking a long time for it. So Animal Crossing still going strong. Still literally playing it every day. But now there's a new wrinkle. My son is now playing.
Oh Lord.
So he's playing on his own island on his own Switch. And remember before when I set up like both Switches are on the same account so I could use the games on both? Well, he wanted to play and he wanted to visit my island, so we had to figure out how to get him to my island, and I think I accidentally discovered some kind of loophole. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be the way you're supposed to do stuff. But I got him his own online account for his profile on the Switch, and we're able to play at the same time with technically the same download, I guess. So I don't quite know if that's a glitch.
You've now exposed it online, and Nintendo will be fixing this immediately
and suing you out of existence. Just letting you know.
Yeah, like I'm sure this is going to get around from our podcast. But it's a instead of doing a family plan, because I started trying to do that, and then that got messed up because Nintendo's online management of this stuff is absolutely horrible. So I ended up like trying to do a family plan, and like it just nothing. Like, where do I do this? Adding someone onto it. So I was just like, something, screw it. He's just gonna have his own, online profile that's a kid's profile, that whatever, that somehow worked. $20 a year, whatever. And yeah, and he's able to jump back and forth on my island and stuff, and it's really fun. Kind of like making up little games and stuff like that, running around the islands and things and going back and forth with stuff.
Manipulating him to allow you to make millions of dollars on turnips.
No, it didn't. I wasn't even worried about that. Although now that you mention that, that'd be a pretty good idea. I can go visit his island with turnips. No, I think I'm done with the turnip thing. I got the achievement for it. Making, all the money on it. I had my big slam dunk week the other week. With it finally, where I just made millions upon millions in one shot, and I was just like, all right, what else do I got to do there? No, nothing. I'm rich. I don't have to worry about it. But I still find myself playing it. Now it's a little bit more fun because now I got him, doing stuff, and I'm I'm getting.
No, wait. Are you saying that playing a game online with another human being is making the game more enjoyable?
It's essentially couch co-op the way we're playing it. So let's not go crazy. It is just going. Technically, sure, but it's fun. I'll sit there and say he'll see something on my island. He'll be like, I want that. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I have to do all this farming, to get that. Sure, So, but it's it's fun. It's cute. He's digging it. So I kind of like that. There was an indie Nintendo Indies did a thing, presentation this week, and they dropped a couple games. They dropped Fez, which it's an old game. It's been from I guess Xbox One. Was it on PS3?
No, it was on Xbox 360, my friend.
Wait, which? Yeah, that was the third. Yeah, Xbox 360 is the one I had. Dude, it's not my fault. Their naming convention sucks. I don't care. It sucks. It's stupid. It sucks. They're stupid and they suck. That naming convention makes no sense.
Mr. Jana says, I think an angel just got its wings. Dave did it. Tears. I don't know what it was, but yeah.
Online gaming. Yeah. But no, I'm sorry. It's just the naming convention is dumb. I don't care to learn it because it's stupid. So, I'm not going to bother. I'll play stuff, whatever. I owned them. I don't know which one's which at this point because I just don't care. But Fez was a good game, and that's why I own that system, whichever Xbox and it was.
360.
It was, yeah, that was the one. That was the 360 was probably my favorite one then because that had
the arcade on it with the Indies was a whole focus with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, they had some good stuff on there. And then they did Saturn games like Radiant Silvergun and stuff. Yeah. Awesome. Wow. That got marked to go away. Awesome. I'll have to remember that one.
Radiant Silvergun. Radiant Silvergun. Radiant Silvergun.
Obscure Sega Saturn shooters. There goes Mark. Okay. And they released one day one, right after the conference dropped. It was available in the store, so I picked that up and I've been playing it. It's called This Is Not a Game. So clearly, you could see my attraction to it.
It cost $20, didn't it?
Something? I totally forget how much it cost.
This is not a game that I paid $20 for.
Yeah, but it's so basically it harkens back to the old kind of goofy point and click adventures on computers.
But those were games.
Yeah. And the idea is you're kind of going through some stuff and the voiceover is constantly telling you that this is not a game, and it's just and you're just ruining stuff as you're going through, and it's very odd, and there's really weird puzzles. And it's really scratching an itch that I forgot I had of these really quirky kind of
Is it an itch you didn't have?
No, an itch I did have, but I didn't realize I had. until it was scratched.
But it's not a game, so it's not it's not scratching a gaming itch. It's a different itch.
Yes, and it's scratching it, dude. It's delightful. You need to try it. But it's really funny. There's like a lot of goofy stuff in it. Like, I mean, the puzzles are just like goofy fun. There's like all kinds of weird stuff.
Now, have you downloaded Disco Elysium on PS5?
That's out?
Yes.
When did that come out?
Came out like 3 weeks ago.
Dude.
And it's only $30, I think. 30 or $40.
Dude.
Yeah. It's the complete edition, all the DLC also.
This is what you're supposed to tell me. Stuff like this.
I mean, this is the first time back. Here I am. Hey.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting. We don't chat every day. In a chat every day. A lot.
Hey, Dave, Disco Elysium's out.
Cool, I'll check it out now. I just updated my system and all.
Nice.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably thank Matt for that one because I think the money is in there still from when Matt gave me a present.
Well, you're welcome.
I haven't had a download to use it on, so there was like all this free content because I was playing on the Ratchet and Clank game they offered on there for the initial. What was that special launch?
Oh, the
PS5.
play at home.
Yeah, the 20 PlayStation collection.
Oh, right. Yeah, it was on there too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was if you got like a PS5 right away, there was like a special dump of games.
I think everybody still has access to that.
Yeah, it's still out there. It's for Plus. If you have Plus, it's their kind of sort of maybe Game Pass thing a little bit, but not really.
So I was like looking through that and I was like, oh, Ratchet and Clank. And I got my son to play that a little bit. And then I started playing through like a full solid game of it because getting ready for the June release of, the new Ratchet and Clank game, which I can't wait for. It's the reason I bought the system. So I'm really excited for that. What else? I did pick up Fez on the Switch, playing Hades on the Switch, which is always fun. Mother Russia Bleeds, which is kind of like a 2D brawler kind of game. I was going through like a 2D brawler phase. There's Scott Pilgrim was re-released on it. So that was great. That's great. Pick that up if you haven't played that game before. And if you have played it before, pick it up again on the Switch. Why not? Game it on the go. I'm really excited for some reason it was in the indies. I don't know why this is necessarily in the indies because I kind of figured it was a bigger game than that. But I guess old school 2D game gets lumped into indies anymore. That Ninja Turtles game is coming out. Mm-hmm. They showed more of that and it just looks fantastic. The company behind it did Streets of Rage 4, which is fantastic. It's worthwhile. It's a really good time to be a fan of 2D brawlers. There's been a little mini resurgence in there. It's not like flooded. There's not like a million games in the genre, but there's some really quality ones that are out there. My favorite of all time, Streets of Rage 2. Obviously with Streets of Rage 4 coming back, that was a nice surprise. All the stuff you liked about it, it's there, and then some, different kind of gameplay tweaks, but they all work. So that's great stuff. TV wise, Invincible, Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I forgot to list that one out. Duh.
Yeah.
Wait, are you watching Invincible, Matt?
No, Falcon and Winter Soldier I didn't list off. I forgot that one.
How are you not watching Invincible?
It's just not there yet. I'm behind. I've got too many things to try to do and not enough time to try to get it crammed into.
And can I say that I think this new system sucks? I liked it better when they dropped like the entire series on day one when you could just binge watch the entire thing. I don't like that it's going to the paid television model where it's like one episode a week. It sucks.
I kind of like that because it doesn't overwhelm me. like having time, and it gives me something to look forward to. And like, all right, for instance, okay, this is a perfect example of why I actually prefer this. So my wife wanted to watch a show apparently on Paramount Plus. So she got access to like the station through like Amazon, did like an Amazon station, whatever. I don't know how, whatever. I'm gonna have to. It's just something I need to cancel in a month. And so I was just like, well, while she's watching that, I'll binge the Star Trek stuff that I wanted to see that I thought I was never going to get to see, because why not? I have access to it. Might as well use it. And I've been staying up till like 1 a.m, watching. Yeah, hi, but you also wake up at like 12:30 the next day or
That
something
is
like
not
that.
true at all.
It's true.
I mean, it is like 12 your time,
Exactly.
but for the
So
rest
it's
of
true.
for my time, it is not 12.
That's not what I was saying, though. That's for the purpose of my story and skewing everything to make it sound worse. It's true.
Thank you, Kurt Angle.
From a certain point of view.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, it's yeah. So I've been watching a lot of that. So I blew through all the Star Trek shorts, the whole Picard season in like a few days. So a lot of good stuff there.
So do you? So now that you're done with it, and
yes,
Matt, you've seen it as well, correct?
Picard, yeah.
Okay. Without going super into spoilers, do you understand my issue with it?
I think maybe.
Okay.
Like I had issues with like, why are they dropping the F-bomb so much in Star Trek?
Well, I mean that only reinforced that the Federation sucks now, which is one of the messages they're driving home that I don't like. But it's more as like if you watch Next Gen, especially the final season, it's like they just completely disregarded any character growth Picard ever had, any lessons about depending on his friends, about any of that stuff. They just were like, nope, he's just going to be a bitter old man, and that's the way we're going to run with it. And I'm like, come on, man. That was the whole purpose of Q's last test, was to make him think through time about the bonds of friendship he has with all these people, to rely on them to fix things. And he just forgot all of that.
I didn't really... I don't know. I kind of got the feeling that he just felt that, like, he just like, failed everybody and just kind of like hold up a little bit. I kind of related to that. I get that. Because like, I do that on a daily basis. I fail everybody I care about on a daily basis.
Yeah, but we're talking about
fail everybody I care.
Yeah, and we're talking about fantasy, not your life. And I mean, it's like,
but it felt real.
Yes, I just no, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I will never dissuade anyone from watching anything Star Trek. It's just not my Star Trek.
I get it. It didn't have the
optimism.
Exactly.
Hope. That's
one of the.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you look at Picard, it makes, and I think this comes down to what the crux of it really is. It makes Next Gen look like a propaganda piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, wholeheartedly. And I mean, he's supposed to be a master diplomat. He's supposed to be super tenacious and never gives up. And this is all about him giving up and going to live at the shadow.
No, he was kind of broke and then betrayed, and his friends were not there to help him, so.
But he didn't go round him up either, He could have gone to them and he didn't. And I mean, that you're 100% right. It's the lack of hope. It's not Star Trek. It's not what I equivocate Star Trek to be in the writing style. I don't think it's like the worst thing I've ever watched or anything like that. I just think it's not Trek, if that makes sense.
Which is how I feel about Discovery season 1. I mean, it's a good sci-fi show, but it doesn't feel Trek until the character for season 2 appears.
Yeah,
and
no,
then
I agree.
It starts feeling like Trek.
But see, then in season 3,
they undo all that. but that's why I am interested in the show for that person. And
See,
the other
and
person.
Daniel loves that, right? Because he loves anything that screws with the status quo to make a new story, and I get that. But yeah, I did Dave's Kindle thing with Discovery season 3, and
Which I haven't watched because I haven't had access to. Well, what was it? CBS now
it's
or
now
whatever
Paramount
before. And now it's
Plus.
Paramount Plus,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Which is funny because now when you're watching stuff on Paramount Plus, it still has, when you're watching the older stuff, CBS Now commercials, and that really confused the hell out of me.
And you know what the stupidest part is? I forgot about the rebranding to Paramount Plus. So I went to CBS Now to go log in, and it told me my credentials were invalid.
Nice.
So they have the sign up page, the
what?
login page for
doesn't
CBS
just
Now
redirect?
still up. It does not redirect, and it tells you that your credentials are invalid when you try to sign in.
Oh man!
You go to Paramount Plus, right in, no problem whatsoever. I totally forgot that they had done that, and so I kept trying to log into CBS Now because Lexi wanted to watch Bull, and I'm like, why can't I get in here? And I reset my password, and I'm like, no, that's still correct. WTF? And then I'm like, oh yeah, they rebranded. I wonder if I go there. Yeah, so that's super.
CBS Now was always pretty jank. Is Paramount Plus any better?
I mean, I access it through Amazon on the Fire Stick.
So to answer your question, I have to open it in Firefox or it reboots my computer. Now that was CBS Now. I have not tried. I think I did it in Firefox just to be safe when I did log into Paramount Plus. But no joke, if I try to do it in Chrome, my computer just immediately reboots in CBS Now.
Fantastic.
So I don't know if Paramount Plus is better. I'm guessing not.
I do all the stuff on like, through Fire TV on it. I mean, it's worked fine. It's not like, it's weird because like it says there's an app, but it's just going through like the Amazon interface. So I don't really know what's going on. It's kludgy compared to all the other services. So whatever.
Jeff Bezos is sitting there sucking up your electrons and then making money out of them or something.
Not anymore. He's not.
Oh, that's right. He stepped down, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, well, sure. He's still got money. But yes, that's a shame. The shorts, the Trek shorts, I didn't know about those.
Oh yeah.
So like that wasn't a thing I was aware of.
So wait, have you started watching Lower Decks?
No, that's next.
Okay, because that is worthwhile in my opinion.
Yeah, I've heard that's good, so I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it all. While I have it, and then then I can dump it.
Including Enterprise.
But the shorts were fantastic. There's the Trouble with Edward, which I was just dying. That was great. Matt, have you heard about this one?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go too spoilery.
No, don't. Just there are
But it stars somebody that I'm a big fan of. Just listening to the guy, like as soon as I hear his voice, I laugh, and then just seeing what the guy looks like in real life, I always forget. And then but then you hear him and you're just like, oh my god, it's him. But the story itself was amazing. They did a Harry Mudd one, which was amazing. And it starred the guy Rainn Wilson played him.
Mm. Yeah, because he did in. Oh, you haven't watched that yet.
Oh, he did show up.
Have you?
What, Discovery? I haven't watched Discovery.
Yeah, he shows up somewhere.
Oh, okay. So I kind of figured that he must have shown up there because it just it seemed odd that they got him for that just for this 15-minute piece. So I was a big fan of those. What else? I caught up on the past Godzilla movie, King of Monsters, and then watched Godzilla vs. Kong. Whatever, monster movies is sure. I think that's all the highlights.
Oh, I watched the Pacific Rim not anime too. I forgot about that. Into Black, I think, or something that's called like that. It's better than Pacific Rim 2. which, you know, pretty much anything in existence is better than Pacific Rim 2.
Just trying to
But,
say that's not saying much, dude.
Yeah.
but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Pacific
it, but
Rim
it does
2?
go some. No,
Oh.
Into Black, the anime, the not anime.
Ah.
So, you know, I enjoyed it, but I get it won't be everybody's cup of tea. So yeah, give it a shot. If by 2 episodes you aren't bought in, then, you know, just bail, because it's not gonna change your mind later.
Well, I've been playing Moving. I've also been playing Nothing Works.
Track that bass reverb.
Yeah. I've also been playing investment in Bitcoin and stocks for the first time ever. I am even, so I guess that's good, but down on the Coinbase stock investment, up on the Coinbase cryptocurrency investment. So even. I mean, we're not talking large amounts, but it's the first time I've ever actively bought a stock, and I actually fulfilled a couple other things that I wanted to do because I had a little. So, by the way, TD Ameritrade and E-Trade can do obscene things to themselves because they suck. And, you know, Dave very wisely cautioned me against using Robinhood. Robinhood is actually the one that came through and allowed me to get stocks on opening day when the others would not. I actually have set up accounts at all three, and Robinhood was the only one that I could actually make the investment on. So
I am shocked because, again, over the past couple of days, there's been people that I know using Robinhood for like the Dogecoin, you know,
Which
stuff.
hasn't even made it up to $1 yet.
no,
But,
it
yeah.
hasn't, and I really want to invest in that too. But yeah,
Yeah, but if it, you know, if you bought in at 0.0000002 cents,
right,
Yeah.
you know, and now it's up to 20 cents, you know, well, 40, whatever it's up to now. That's a lot.
yeah.
That is a return
And-
of
and-
epic proportions.
And so, you know, I went ahead and used my leftover to buy a full stock of Apple, which I'm still kicking myself about because I was getting on a plane in 2000 and the share per price was like $89
Don't think about that.
at that point, and I was like, oh, I should buy some, and I was like, I'll do it when I get back if the plane doesn't crash on Y2K, and yeah, so I was distracted. And then I bought half a share of Disney also. So now conflict of interest? I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, so did some of that. Played Fortnite, Divinity Original Sin, prep for our mid to end of May new D&D stream that will be taking over the Monday night slot. I've done all the prep work up through 2/3 of Act 2. And granted, Act 3 will be the longest arc of the story. We're going from level 1 to level 20. So it is like a full campaign for story arcs and character growth. But I expect it'll be close to a year before we catch up to my prep work. So that'll be good. And then the other game I am playing starting next week is Build the Gaming Table. And I am not a builder person, so I have somebody helping me with that. And yeah. Watching AEW, how far are you behind, Dave?
I'm fairly caught up. I might be like a week behind. I didn't watch this week's.
Okay, so this week's opening match is really good.
Is it the Bucks
Bucks
and
versus Penta, versus
Phoenix
and
and Pac?
Pac. Yeah.
Okay. I heard that's like the match of the year.
I wouldn't go that far, but it was a damn good match.
Yeah.
was damn
I'm
good.
I'm feeling a little like, you know, I hit my third win of the day, like right now. So I'm probably going to be watching that after this.
Have you been monitoring New Japan at all?
I have not been the past couple months.
Okay, so you know Kota Ibushi won the unified titles, right?
I heard that, yeah.
Okay, so at Sakura New Genesis, Ospreay took the titles from Kota Ibushi.
No
And
crap.
that is a match that you will want to go watch. It is very good.
I will have to check that out.
Yes. So there's that. And now both Okada and Shingo Takagi are stepping up to challenge him for
Nice.
the title. So and his matches with Takagi have been
Ridiculous.
chef's kiss. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that. That's it, Matt. That's all the wrestling stuff I'm going to do. You can wake up now.
Oh, okay. Whatever happened with the one match where it was like the world's most dangerous match and they like throw razor blades at each other or some stupid shit?
So glad you asked.
30 seconds.
It has
30
it has
seconds.
been a while, hasn't it? The match was fantastic, but the end was a dud. Basically, they did this thing where it was going to be a 30-second countdown, and then all the bombs were supposed to go off around the ring, in the ring. Any remaining unexploded charges were supposed to go off. And instead, it was a sparkler from every ring post and a little pff. And what's worse is they have this really tough wrestler. And he talks the talk super well of being somebody from the streets, and he is the good guy's main antagonist, but also was his best friend 18 years ago. And so he goes out there and throws himself on top of the good guy to shield him from the blast and save him. And it's nothing, and he sells it like he just died, right? He sells it like it was the worst. He's not moving anymore. So there is a saying in wrestling is that all anybody will ever remember is the finish. And the finish was way flat. And it was, the funny part is this happened twice in history before with Dave's favorite company, ECW.
I was there live for the big one.
Yeah, and the people were not happy then, and the people were not happy now, and it's...
Although I will say, it was one of my favorite moments of ECW because it was such an ECW moment.
Yeah.
Because the best thing about ECW to me always was the Philly crowd, the local bingo hall crowd that was there.
Yep.
Because we did not miss a beat. And that's the thing that was fantastic about it. It was like literally the finish went off, Public Enemy's there, and it's just like... and like nothing, there's just a little bit of smoke, and the crowd just immediately went quiet for 2 seconds, and then immediately the entire crowd in unison, without any prompting from any one person. It wasn't like a slow clap thing. It was just the whole crowd all at once started going, refund, refund.
So there was booing, and they spun it into a storyline, and and
Somebody
even
sabotaged the explosives. or
right,
something?
yeah. The world champion was the one that supposedly built this entire contraption.
I'm really conflicted by this.
But then in Moxley's next interview, he said that Impact. He said, "Where'd you get those bombs? Impact," which was pretty funny. Pretty funny. So
I did like the follow-up week after that where they were kind of like doing the damage control. But I started wondering, could it have been done on purpose? And they were just like, oh, we're not spending all this money on pyrotechnics and stuff like that. That's dangerous. Let's just botch it and make it into a storyline.
I don't think so. I mean, Tony Khan did say, well, what do you expect? We were actually going to kill them? No, I get that. But, obviously people were...
But you could do it better than that.
Yeah, the other ones looked fine, when they go to the outside or when they hit the ring. I thought that the psychology of the match was really well done.
Yeah.
But the finish was not great. But so that's basically what happened. Nothing happened in the short run. But it was a really good match with a really bad ending. And
but it got people talking. So.
Yeah.
Right. Now the difference is the ECW one that I saw was kind of like early on in their, when the organization was just becoming a hot thing. It wasn't on national TV
or pay-per-view in this case.
So yeah, it wasn't on anything like that. So
your $190 pay-per-view was a little less than satisfying.
So what they used to do is they would record it and sell videotapes the next week. This is the one thing that never made it to videotape the next week.
There's a bootleg somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah. And it just always cracked me up. And so now what would have happened then? Then it was just forgotten. They just didn't talk about it. It didn't happen.
I think it's already forgotten by most people.
Yeah.
I had forgot about it till you asked me about it, actually.
Yeah.
Because it's been,
I just remember this big buildup about this lethal match. And
one of the problems with AEW that I really have is this 4-month pay-per-view schedule. Like, their next pay-per-view isn't until the end of May. And it's like, it's too long for me. Like, I know that's weird to say. WWE is too much. One a month, I think, is too much. But I think they should, like, make it one every 3 months, not one every 4 months. Because it's too much time between it, in my opinion. But whatever.
That's what it was like in, the old days. It was one a year.
Right. Yeah. The very old days. Falcon Winter Soldier, caught up on that. Curse you for giving me a cliffhanger in this stupid episode. Stupid.
Matt, did you see it yet?
Yeah,
yes, I did, and I did see the cliff, or not the post credits. I did,
Yeah.
or mid credits.
This show's so good.
Wait,
It is.
now what was it about? Did I not watch it? No, I thought.
Did you not? Did you not
Maybe
get to
I
the end
didn't.
of the?
Oh, maybe I
song?
didn't. No, I'll have to go
If
back.
you didn't go all the way to the end of the,
I'll have to go back. I must have missed something.
Then,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Was it called Louisiana Hero or whatever the name of that song is? But yeah,
Invincible, which they are abbreviating. I'm trying to figure out exactly where they're going to end the first season here, because they're actually like one of the things that I was talking about with Daniel about this is there is a mystery that takes place that they reveal in the first episode of this of this series, which
I never read the comics, so I didn't know.
That took like a lot longer before, not much, but I mean a lot longer than we got in the animated.
Oh,
series.
so you didn't know that right away?
No, you didn't. That was farther.
is it the dad?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you mean? Is it maybe?
I mean, is it? Well, okay. Again, this is one of the books I've never read, but I've heard a lot of people talking about it. What's his face? Would never shut up about it in the store.
So what I can definitely say is, great. Go in with no expectations, cold. Watch it, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. Just know that in the comics, this took longer.
This took a lot longer.
Yeah, it took longer, and I wasn't sure how they were going to do the pacing, and even that the stuff that they're doing now was like 2 years in, I think, into the comic run. So I'm interested to see what their plan is for how many seasons this is actually going to last. Because now I was originally thinking it might be 5. I'm actually thinking it might just be 3 now.
So they're really compressing.
It seems like they're compressing quite a bit, but it's so good. It's so
It's
good.
good.
Can I complain about something?
Sure.
Super quick. Are you done? Are you done with? No. Okay. Well, finish and then I'll come back to it.
Caught up on Flash season 5 and 6. The Voice. I've been watching a guy on YouTube called Mark Ribier. He is a looper. He is super in your face and kind of annoying, but at the same time kind of cool and funny. And it's like a train wreck you can't stop watching. And the guy is always looping, playing music, singing, and dancing, either in just his boxers or in a kimono and boxers. And he tours and plays gigs in boxers and a kimono. And the crowd eats it up. All I can say is look at it, see if it's for you. It might not be.
Pandemic entertainment's really gotten weird.
Yeah. And then the last thing on my list is Dallas. My wife,
like old school.
Oh yeah.
1980s.
Yeah, my wife decided
Primetime soap opera.
It's one of those things that she used to watch with her mom when she was alive, and so she decided to watch the entire thing from beginning to end. Did you know there are 15 seasons of Dallas?
I was gonna say there's like
15
seasons, yeah.
and not 15 now seasons, 15
old school
29 episode seasons. and it's like, oh my God, it never ends. And Bobby is dead, and then it's a dream, and then it's like, oh my God, I can't keep track of who's with who and who's trying to kill who. And JR is just constantly a dick to everybody. It's crazy. It's a
primetime soap opera.
But-
It was a weekly soap opera.
The interesting thing to me is watching it and seeing the scenes that they would never have today. Like, for example, a phone will ring and someone will get up and walk across the room to the phone, pick it up and say, hello. And then there's a pause. And then there'll be somebody saying, is this Mrs. Ewing? And it's like that 20 seconds would never exist today. Like that just would not exist. They would cut all that out. And she'd get her cell phone. Hello. That's it.
And see who it was before you answered.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's so weird, but it is kind of amusing. I'm like half watching it when I'm with her, just because it's kind of interesting, but at the same time, I don't care. But I'm glad that she's enjoying.
You're going to watch Falcon's Crest now, right? Next.
She already did that one.
Next.
She already did that one. Thank God. Yeah. And then the last thing that I have to get to are Fig Pins. Fig Pins came out with Transformers. And so I don't know. Oh, that's actually not bad. So you can see it's the animated series Transformers. They're really nice. I got Megatron, and then I got Starscream, which Starscream is pretty badass as well.
The Starscream one's nice. I had to break down and get the Starscream one, especially when I heard it was limited.
Yep. So I got that one. And then
because I have a Starscream Shine.
Shining Shrine.
And then I also got the limited Jazz, even though Jazz is not necessarily my cup of tea.
Scatman Crothers, though.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta love that choice.
And then for some reason, I ordered 2 Optimus Primes. I didn't mean to. I apparently did. So we're going to be giving one away, and more details on that soon. But yeah, so we're going to give away a Optimus Prime Transformers Fig Pin.
Nice.
And that's it for my list.
Okay, so one, did you know that the game that became Versus? Well, no, we'll hit that in news. So a show I forgot that I had talked about before, but I finished up and during the gap, a anime called The Promised Neverland.
Oh.
Season 1 was really, really good. Was great. I liked it. It was different from the standard kind of fare of that type of show that we'd watch. And I was really excited because season 2 is coming out. I was a little worried because season 1 does have my favorite J-pop rock song of all time as the title track. So there was no way season 2 was ever going to do well as that. And it's not.
Body Feels Exit by Namori
really
Yamuro.
close. Huh?
Body Feels Exit by Namori Yamuro.
That might be it. Is it season 2? Is that
No, I'm joking. I'm just calling out a
know.
Random J-pop.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's actually pretty good. It's a solo artist. I looked it up, but it grew on me. I was actually okay with it. But the full song is like long. It's like almost 7 minutes. It's wild. The closing song is actually better than the season 1 closing song. I was never a super fan of season 1's closing song, so season 2's closing song is way better. But the important part is they nerfed the living crap out of it. And I am so pissed off. I'm like to the point where I'm like, I'm going to maybe just go buy the manga because I want to see how this was supposed to be done. Because they turned season 2 was what should have been season 3. And then they made it the series finale by doing a 20-second still shot montage of what happens from the last scene of the show to the end of the manga. They just did it as stills. And there is some amazing, awesome artwork in there and some really cool, like, what the heck was that? But basically, every fan of the series is now hoping or petitioning for a Brotherhood style redo of the series. It should be a 4-season show. There's clearly 4 arcs from what I've been able to research out, that there should have been 4 arcs. It should have been 4 seasons. And they skip what should have been season 2 to jump to season 3 as season 2, and then just completely ramshackled season 4 into 20 seconds. And the prevailing logic seems to be that companies don't like doing anime that don't have an active manga, and the manga quit, or was done. It was concluded. So apparently it's not official, because of course no Japanese company would ever admit something like this, but it's done because there was not an active manga for the anime to be an advertisement for. So
speaking of things
angering.
that I forgot I was also playing Fear and Apprehension, because Las Vegas has determined that on May 1st there will be no more guidelines other than masks. No social distancing, no anything. Everything is open to full capacity. They want to get their buffets on again, and yeah.
I guess I was kind of surprised that Las Vegas ever actually shut down. I kind of figured they were their own little fiefdom.
No, the funny part is that they actually did really good things. They were enforcing social distancing. They actually, like on the blackjack tables and stuff, they put up these big plexiglass barriers so that you couldn't breathe on the person next to you. So there was like stations, I guess would be the best way to say that, at all those tables and everything. They actually like spent pretty penny to do that. And spring break came and it was nightmarish, the number of people, and none of them were wearing their masks correctly and all that stuff. And people are like, yeah, but look at the numbers. I'm like, you idiots, they all come and leave. It's not like nobody's staying here, so it's, I don't know. I guess living with an immunocompromised person changes your outlook greatly on this stuff. And, you see people saying, oh, it's my right not to wear a mask. I'm like, how about other people that exist around you and stuff? I'm not trying to be political. I'm just like, why can't people think about other people ever? But,
that's not the way.
Yeah, I know.
The worst thing they could have, they should have just said, COVID can shrink your penis, and then everybody would have been like, mask up. They just need to lie about stuff like that. Instead of just saying if you do this to help other people, don't ever say do anything to help other people.
Yeah.
That's not the way people work.
So I got my first shot. My second shot is on Cinco de Mayo, and Lexi we're investigating whether or not she can even get the shot. If she can, then her doctor's already said she wants to get the Johnson & Johnson. I know it's stopped at the moment, but so yeah, that's
the numbers on that are
sick. Yeah, it's fine.
You don't. I don't think that's a real concern.
But you do want to check, because I have immune condition and I have been recommended against the Johnson & Johnson, even if it is available. So that's by medical professional.
Yeah, she's got to have a blood panel drawn, and then once she has the blood panel,
I will say one thing: the people getting getting the shot, and people are saying it's not like a true vaccine because you can still get it, and it's just but it lessens the impact of the stuff.
That's all any vaccine does, is lessen your chance of getting it. Any vaccine can.
Well, yeah, but lessen the chance, but also lessens the impact of if it does happen.
Yeah,
and that recently happened, and from some people in my family, and it's interesting to see the people that were fully vaccinated because of work are fine; they didn't get it. 2 of the people had one of the shots and were waiting for their second shot when they got it, and they went through a day of real suck and fever, and then it broke by a day and a half. So it does lessen the impact of it, so that's a good thing. So it's just kind of interesting to see and then there was somebody who didn't have anything and they got it, and then they're still fighting a fever a few days in. So it's it's the stuff works. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Well, let's move on from Gamersledge to Gamersledge and talk about the gaming news. They should never give me sound pads. That's all I gotta say.
Oh boy.
Who's starting off?
Oh, I guess I can. We saw another Resident Evil event. I think that was yesterday, just already. And so we got to see some more about Resident Evil 8 Village. We're getting a demo on PS5 and PS4 for the early access demo, and then the regular demo. The early access is a 30-minute and the full one is a 60-minute. They're coming out multiple times, spaced out between now and the release of the game next month. And they formally announced Mercenaries returning. The minigame mode from Resident Evil 4 is coming back in Village. It's a slightly different form, but similar concept. It's mission based, time based, goal based. Get through here this fast, get a ranking, that type of stuff. And then we saw the first trailer for Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, which is a Netflix animated series featuring Claire and Leon from about 2 years after Resident Evil 4. So, yeah.
By the way, did you all realize that Winter Soldier Falcon is only 6 episodes?
Yes, we only have one episode left.
That's so crazy. I don't know why they did that.
Because they want me to be sad.
Success.
Because then in 2 weeks we roll into Loki. Which
is also only 6 episodes and will make me sad. Because that show needs to be longer. I can tell
that
you
show
that
at
already.
least that show at least is one of them based on what's going on that will be most likely to get a sequel unless they do something with the ending that would make it not feasible.
Just stop playing my emotions. Like they need to drag some of this stuff out. Like one show I want them to drag out. It's just like, really, 6 episodes? That's all we're gonna get of this?
And to Mark's point on this, I do like this because the between WandaVision and Winter Soldier and Loki, it makes me look forward to Fridays, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I look forward to
that.
it. And we all sit down, the 3 of us that are home, sit down and watch it, together. It's kind of like you'd sit down and was The Wonderful World of Disney was on ABC on Sunday nights, and the whole family sit down and watch whatever it is they schlucked out at you. And I don't know, kind of harkens me back to that. So I kind of like that in that case. But anyway, carry on. I'm done.
So my one piece of news that I'm going to start off with is probably like the most camp piece of news I could ever report on. They are making a Toxic Avenger reboot, and Peter Dinklage is in it.
I heard that.
That's like. That dates all of us. I'm just saying, because that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's been a day or two. Excuse me, day or two.
Dave, do you have one?
Yes, my delivery of the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack on vinyl shows up tomorrow.
I'm actually a little jelly about that.
The game or the movie?
The movie soundtrack on vinyl.
Yeah, I'm a little jelly about that. Not gonna lie.
There's a real nice set that came out that I pre-ordered that a while ago because I got my wife got me a record player for Christmas, so I started buying some vinyl of just like stuff I really like. So I got like a bunch of like 9 Inch Nails stuff, some albums I really like, the special edition stuff that's like clear blue, crap like that. And then I saw this like Scott Pilgrim set, and I was just like, yeah, I gotta do that.
Yeah, the wife wants a record player for Christmas this year, so I'm sure I'll be investing in some vinyl like that as well.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, you can get started for not too bad.
So the first major PS5 update was available, improves HDR 120 hertz support, and allows you to save games to external drives.
Okay, to clarify, it allows you to cold storage PS5 games onto an external drive so that you don't have to re-download them after you're trying to make room.
Correct, you can't play them from the external drive, no.
Right, you can still play PS4 games, but not in PS5.
Correct.
And they're still planning on the M.2 drive bay being enabled sometime this summer. That's allegedly still the plan, but
Now, Matt,
Allegedly.
or actually, I should I would preface this one to Daniel, but probably might actually be more in Dave's wheelhouse.
Yes.
Did you see the trailer for the Army of the Dead?
Dude. So on board with that.
Okay.
is that the Batista one?
Yes.
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 Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it. I know what it is, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
So,
Dude, I'm so on board with that movie.
So, Zack Snyder has already come out and said that the movie that we'll be releasing is the director's cut. There is not a Snyder cut necessary for it.
Nice.
There still will be
That's
5
funny.
years from now, after any complaints have been, addressed. Yeah, that's
No, but this is something that's in his wheelhouse. I think this will be totally fine. I'm not worried about this one at all.
Has there been a good Snyder movie?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Yes. Dude, 300
If you
was
say-
great.
Okay, I was gonna say if you said Watchmen, I was gonna have to question it. But
You know something? I don't hate
Yeah,
the Watchmen.
I actually don't hate the Watchmen because it is so loyal to the source material. I actually
yeah, but then they wimped out at the end.
You know something? That change they made with not having a big, spaghetti monster, fall from the sky. I'm actually fine with that for, a movie adaptation for it. Granted, they made it work in the HBO cut, which I'm just like, now I'm like, okay, I guess it would have worked. Because the HBO show was amazing for numerous reasons.
It was the first time where I realized Snyder's only shtick is slow-mo. And now every time I watch a Snyder movie, all I see is all of the slow-mo, and it drives me absolutely nuts. Is something of the Snyder cut, isn't it like there's 20 minutes of slow-mo in the movie? Because
There's a lot. Although like some of the stuff, all right, so I watched the Snyder cut of, the 4-hour Snyder cut of, Justice League. And I found people's opinions varied on it. People that went in cold, never watching it, were just like, it was okay. People that watched the original theatrical release and then watched this were like, yeah, that was way better. So
it's not a good movie. It's just a lot better than the first one you get.
However, there's a lot of stuff I do like about it. And I'll be honest about that. I enjoyed it. I had to break it up into 2 nights.
both their mothers' names are Martha.
That wasn't in this movie. So we didn't have to worry about that.
He didn't revisit it.
It was past, we were past that.
No slow
so
motion scene.
Although
There was
Recap
a lot
it.
of slow motion scenes. People were complaining about the slow motion scenes. Like I saw somebody make an explicit, response thing of like, what the hell's with, the slow motion Aquaman, ripping off his shirt. I'm like, because they had Jason Momoa playing Aquaman. I even want to see that in slow motion. I mean, it's just,
Yeah, you do.
come on, he's one of the high points of the movie. Let it happen. And it's just some of the stuff works. And then there was these really weird decisions, like the people singing to Aquaman as he went, that went on for it felt like 20 minutes. It didn't need to be 20 minutes of this weird girl sniffing his dirty sweatshirt. I don't understand what was going on there. So there was lots of weird stuff. And
Okay.
the musical cues of Wonder Woman early on were very odd,
I just find it funny that one of the things he said as the Snyder cut was releasing that he was creating a mythology and nobody else got that. I'm like, you don't need to create, the mythology already exists, my friend. There's no creating going on.
Yeah, I don't even
What are you
understand that
talking
statement.
about?
Considering his best work at this point has been translating things from page to celluloid.
Yeah, 300 was solid, but yeah.
The Walking Dead's The Walking Dead Telltale Games Clementine is making her in-comic debut in The Walking Dead soon.
The Walking Dead's done. How's that working now?
There's a one-off special thing. It's kind of like a project of
Skybound
side story.
X
Yeah.
is a weekly limited series celebrating the 10th anniversary of Kirkman and Albert Skybound Entertainment.
Yeah.
So
Had not heard about that. Okay.
It's like a total, like, it sounds like they're all like, one-off side alternate reality stories of the universe.
Yep.
Cool.
So,
Like Rick Grimes shows back up, but he's like in like some alt take on, some story that was like kind of like teased in one thing. That's like a goofy thing.
yep.
Huh.
So, but that's still cool.
So, Square Enix started getting some rumors running about it that they were aggressively looking for a buyer to save them from their troubled existence. To which the official immediate space shuttle of Legos came out to say that, hey, no, we're not, this is not at all. So we'll see whether the official press release or the rumors are more right. But I'm just fearing a world where Microsoft buys Square Enix, because I will just not be happy.
I don't think Microsoft would do it anyways, but
I don't know. They'll buy anything these days. It looks like either them or THQ Nordic, one or the other.
I'll see your end of the world scenario and raise you one. The Powerpuff Girls live action series is coming to the CW.
Maybe they haven't greenlit it yet, but yeah. And
they have the casting for it already done.
They have the professor and the three girls cast. Yeah. So that was interesting.
I like how everybody's complaining about the outfits.
I mean,
well, the cast reveal picture is just them in regular clothes, toned to the colors from the cartoon.
Correct.
So it's like,
that is correct.
No, I thought there was like some on-set stuff they showed.
They're saying that you'll only see the costumes in flashbacks to their childhood or to their
because they're all
teenage
busy
years.
trying to forget that they were ever the Powerpuff Girls.
And the funny part is Adult Swim did a girls Powerpuff Girls crossover where they wrote an episode of like them in their 20s, but they were all the girls characters instead of the Powerpuff Girls characters. And that's totally what I think this is going to be. So, yeah. I don't know.
You just saying that reminded me of something that I kind of watched recently through my son. So he found some show on Netflix called like DC, like Supergirls or something like that. Or there's like a DC young kids animated series.
Yes.
Focusing on female characters. Yeah.
Focusing on like the high school. It was like everybody's in high school. And that show is hilarious. I'm watching it and it is really funny. Like there's an episode of I guess it was Star Sapphire, who was, I guess, kind of a good guy or something. Like they do a lot of bending of, who's what, kind of in the show. And Hal Jordan was there, and they were like, they were trying to like kind of teach him a lesson, have him learn some humility kind of thing, and he just wasn't getting it, and it was like really hilarious. And at the end of it, like he never learned anything, and everything was just all for naught. And it was like really well done, really hilarious. There was like an episode he was all into where they had Ra's al Ghul, but he was like reimagined as kind of like a vampire rock star kind of thing, and was like taking over the crowd with a mind control song that sounded a lot like Soundgarden, and the song was like made just for the show, and it was like really good. And my son was like, I really like this song, and I'm like, you got good taste, like this is really good. But all the changes, they were making like a lot of changes to the characters, but they were all really funny and well done. And the show was witty and like, it was punching way above its weight in there. And it was just like, I like these little side projects where they just like don't care. And, they actually end up being like really fun.
And it was all for a figure line that failed, so the show failed.
Yep.
Oh, is that what? Oh, that's a shame. Because the show was really good.
Speaking of maybe failing, but I really want one. Hasbro has revealed a voice and app-controlled auto-transforming Optimus Prime robot.
Prime. Yeah.
That
I won't
costs
even watch that.
$6.99.
I won't even watch that video.
I totally want it.
I won't even watch that video.
You totally should watch it.
I am totally not watching it.
I'll send you the link.
Watch the Kevin Smith one because he is such a little child with it, but it's hilarious.
Oh, there's a Kevin Smith one?
Yeah,
Wait,
there's a Kevin
really?
Smith one. Oh, it's Kevin and Jason Mewes together.
Oh, that's not right.
Oh my God. That's going to be found right now.
Yeah, I just I'm not the person that needs to see that. You know, I have the
Fortunately,
Millennium Falcon downstairs made out of Lego that I should, be ashamed of.
No, you shouldn't be ashamed of it. You
I'm
should be
not.
ashamed of how much you spent for it.
Oh, well, you don't have to
Actually,
worry
no,
about
I'm
it.
proud of
Dave.
how much I spent for it because I only spent half price on it.
Dave, you don't have to
That's
worry
fair.
about it. You don't have to worry about it. First wave of pre-orders already sold out according to Hasbro.
Oh, good. Okay, we're safe then.
But
Until they do the Starscream one.
oh my
Oh,
God.
don't you say
Oh
that.
my God. The Soundwave one.
Oh, that would be cool too.
Soundwave's probably probably he'd be hard.
Okay, come on. Show
I have the-
Soundwave would probably work, yeah.
I have the super nice sound wave that they did.
My God, do it.
What?
Do it. Hold on.
Autobots are about to reveal themselves.
And the funny thing is when it's in robot mode too, he doesn't just stand there. He has like a rest,
Oh my
like-
God, it's
like
got the
a-
sound too.
like an idle animation. Oh yeah, it's got the sound that plays over and over and over again. And he's got an idle animation and he talks and it's voice activated.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
It's pretty friggin' sweet. And considering most of the self-transforming Transformers are absolute garbage,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's
I mean, he converts almost the way that the toy originally did.
yeah, it does the complete torso twist and
Yeah.
stands himself up.
Yeah. It's really good.
And you see the robot is doing
He's breathing. Which he's a robot. He does 5,000
It's the idle
components,
animation.
19 inches tall.
It's pretty nice.
Oh, he's pointing. He's pointing. 27 servos, 60 microchips. Oh, and now he's running. And
What?
25 voice commands.
Are we friends?
Oh, we now know how this completely derailed it.
Oh my God, dude! Like he asked him, "Are you my friend?" And he put his hands on his hips. He stuck his thumb out, and then he pounded his chest. Says, "You are my friend, dude."
No.
I'm not lying about this. I'm sending you the damn link right now.
You can't buy it. Just remember that you
Yeah, you can't buy it.
No.
But
Let's see,
yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
They have some really cool stuff. Like for Easter, it was a Pokemon Easter. Alex was all in Pokemon stuff lately. So I got him. I found this Eevee that was voice activated. This a little animatronic thing for $20. It wasn't even a lot. Now that's probably the inflated Amazon price. This thing now for a while, so it's probably supposed to be only $15 or something. But it's the cutest little thing. It would sit there and it would say its name. It would react to voice, and if you pet it and stuff like that. And it's just they have some neat stuff.
And those have been around for a while too, because that concept. Because Mitchell, when he was little, had a Pikachu like that. So
Yeah.
that's
And the command to get him to transform back into the truck is, "Hey, Optimus
Just
Prime,
roll out."
roll out."
Nice.
That's. I need more money.
you can't buy it. It's sold out.
I need more money. Anyways, that was my one. I didn't realize that was what that was going to become. Oh well.
I tried to tell you.
Yeah,
But you were busy moving.
I know. No, I was busy moving, and I didn't want to see it for the same reason Dave didn't want to see it, and now I really want it.
Did we talk about Aloy? Yeah, we talked about Aloy being in
Fortnite?
Fortnite. Castlevania season 4 on Netflix has been confirmed, and it is the final season. There was some sort of tease that there might be a spinoff. I'm one of the few people that isn't totally enamored with this Castlevania anime show, but I still am intrigued by it, still want to see it. It's just I don't think it's really as great as a lot of people have portrayed it as. But I do not like that version of Alucard. Basically, that's the majority of it.
I'm curious if they're going to go like the more popular Belmonts after this.
Yeah, might be. Just, I don't know.
I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm kind of interested in it. Did you guys hear about this this Ghosts game? So there is a FMV, so full motion video, horror game called Ghosts. And once you...
These always work out fantastic.
No, wait. It gets better. Once you buy it, you can only play it at 10 p.m. every night.
Oh, come on.
I'm serious. It's supposed to come out the end of this month. Or, I'm sorry, the end of February 2022. But they had another successful game prior to this called Host. And
so they just added a letter to the game?
No, well, yeah, I guess.
It's a funny joke. You can laugh. Come on, that is your type of joke.
It is my type of joke. But
yes.
I'm reading. But yeah, I think this is...
Don't roll your eyes at that one.
I think this would be interesting.
How dare you?
I think it'd be interesting to have a game that you can only play at a certain time.
Actually, I don't know why I'm even complaining about that, because that's the only time I fire up games anyway.
Right, exactly. Hitman developer IO is confirmed that they are working on an additional game as well as the next James Bond game.
Oh.
Deathloop was delayed until September, I think.
Yeah, it sounds right.
I'm trying to open a news article. September 2021. September 14th, to be specific. So, great. Take your time. Excuse me.
In a animation story, there's a long known kind of fact / joke that Jensen Ackles of fame from Supernatural has wanted to play Batman, and has even made a couple of references to that in the show. He is finally, in a way, getting his chance, as he will be taking on the role of Bruce Wayne and Batman in the animated version of The Long Halloween. So he will be joined by Josh Duhamel, I'm never sure how to pronounce that, as Harvey Dent, and Billy Burke as James Gordon. I'd actually like to see a live action Billy Burke as James Gordon. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Carmine Falcone being voiced by Titus Welliver, and the Joker being reprised by Troy Baker. I'm not 100% sure when this is coming out, though. I don't see a date on this.
I'm surprised didn't get another crack at the Joker and the animated stuff. John DiMaggio.
He did solid job the one time he did it.
He did it one time, and I was like, and at first going into it, I'm like, really, Bender as Joker, and he did a really good Joker, and I was just like, I could stand hearing more of this.
Is it Alan Tudyk in the Harley Quinn?
Yes.
Yeah, and I was just listening to that the other day, and he does a great job with it. Actually,
him on that show doing double duty as for Joker and Clayface.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is that show?
That show shouldn't exist, and I'm so glad it does, because it's so good.
It's so good.
Which show is this? Sorry.
It's the
Harley Quinn. Okay.
Harley Quinn.
Okay. I haven't
Have you seen it?
No, you really need to, Matt.
Oh, dude.
It is so good.
Yeah.
It is. And the funny part is, like, that should be a show that I hate, because I am a
purist.
I'm not a purist, right? But you should live up to the spirit of the characters at least. And this is not that at all. Like this is like we're gonna make Bane like the whiniest biatch possible. It's hilarious.
Is this really my chair?
It's like it's so funny that it gets the pass from me. The show is so funny that even though it is like Clayface is like the King Shark in this is by far the best version of King Shark that we've ever had.
It's oh god, what's the guy's name? I just saw him on this like foodie show, Fast Foodies.
Alton Brown?
No. Fast Foodies is a show where these three chefs have like there's like some guest star, and they have to like they say like oh I really like this fast food place,
and they have to put their spin on that fast food genre.
So they do. They try and replicate first, and then they do their own take on it, and they have a little contest for it. Funches, what isn't that guy's name? Ray Funches or something?
I don't know.
Oh god, his King Shark is hilarious.
It is hilarious.
Poison Ivy steals the show
every time.
She's amazing,
and it's like, again, it is not anything faithful to the character on the page, but there's just enough.
They play with a lot. The thing is, the stuff they do all makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, even like oh my god, I'm drawing a complete blank. The
guy from Seinfeld.
No, the hypnotist. What's his character's name?
Oh, damn it! Oh, I hate you.
I know.
Anyway, while you guys are thinking about that, you saying Alan Tudyk makes me remember that I also finished Resident Alien. Have you finished that, Dave?
I haven't finished it yet. I think I'm like one episode behind.
Okay. So yeah, that was pretty solid. And season 2 confirmed. So that's cool.
Dr. Psycho.
Oh, that's us. Dr. Psycho. That's it.
Dr. Psycho is probably like, this is literally the worst version of Dr. Psycho I've ever seen in anything.
Yes.
And it's also the best version of Dr. Psycho I've ever seen in anything.
Oh my God, Wanda Sykes showing up on the show.
I mean, seriously, Matt, I cannot extol this enough. You have to find this and watch it. It is mind-boggling how they pulled this off. This show should not exist and should not be as good as it is.
And it's, oh my God, it's so good.
Everything you've ever complained about in the DC universe is brought up in this series.
Sometimes directly.
Most of the time directly. I mean, Batman and Batgirl and Commissioner Gordon are like...
Commissioner Gordon
is a hot mess. The hottest of messes.
I've been wanting to rewatch it, and like this is not helping.
Oh my God! I seriously, Matt, you can find them on YouTube if you want to, but I can't recommend it enough. It is like one of those things that like you blink and the episode's over. And you're like, oh, I'll just watch another 3 of these.
Yeah.
It's 3 a.m. and you're like, oh, I should probably go to bed.
And yeah, I mean, just all the people they got doing the voice work on it are just all amazing. Kelly
Cuoco.
Yeah, Cuoco does Harley Quinn, and she's amazing.
Which I would have never guessed that in a million years. Ever.
No. But also, she did really well in there was another show called The Flight Attendant or something?
Yeah, I've seen ads for it. I haven't.
Yeah, that was a really fun show. That was a shockingly fun show. Very, very fun story. It had it went way crazier than, you thought it was. It went all over the place, and it was just like, this show's insane. So it really, was fun for me. But yeah, she did great in that and great in great as Harley Quinn. The Poison Ivy on the show is amazing, and like the linchpin of the show.
They
Kite.
actually, like, the writing is really tight.
Kite Man.
Really tight. Kite. Oh my god, dude.
You know,
I mean,
I think you guys are trying to recommend this. I think is what you're trying to say.
Listen, Matt. You know I have this fascination with like C and D level characters. Kite Man is like a
Kite Man.
H level character, and I'm telling you, he belongs in this series like no other. It's like if you wrote a series for Kite Man, this is it, and that's saying something.
Wait, hey Matt, Mark and I are in complete lockstep.
You are.
So that tells you.
The only thing that scares me is the last time you guys were in this much lockstep, it was Rick and Morty, and I still haven't been able to make it past episode 1.
No, I'm telling.
So-
Really?
Look, I get it. I had the exact same
Okay, yeah.
version that you did, Matt.
Keep going.
It's one of those things where the longer you go, it's kind of like Bill and Ted's. I'm not gonna lie, it's just like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It's like you spend the first 2/3 of the movie going, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life," and then it hits that one click point where it's like, oh, what?
I think I get it because going back, I remember when I went back and watched when I watched the first episode, and like the way the first episode ended.
Yeah, that drove me absolutely nuts.
Exactly. That doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Like that was a one-off in there, and it gets way better after that.
And way weirder.
Right, but it all also like makes sense at the same time, and they just do like, and just like the little moments in the show, like, you know, complete level, just that one. I still go back and just watch that scene all the time.
Okay. So maybe I don't know. Maybe this won't get me any points because I'm only about 12 years behind. But I finally started watching Breaking Bad.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I've never watched it.
Really?
I had an aversion to it while it was airing, and then it got to like being 5 seasons or whatever, and then it was just overwhelming, the idea of doing it. But I needed a show to watch while I was on the elliptical, and all I have available downstairs is Netflix. So it was there. It was being recommended for some reason. I'm like, all right, fine. Let's give it a season and see what it is. I'm 3 episodes in, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I see why people were enjoying this.
That first episode, that hooks you, doesn't it?
It does. It's pretty hard. And of course, it's the unedited version because it's on Netflix. So I'm, assuming some of this was edited out in AMC, but maybe not.
I don't think so.
They had topless women on AMC. Well, topless woman one.
I don't remember that.
I'm assuming the F-bombs they do that too, where they like the late night episodes, they'll unbleep the F-bombs, and then during the earlier timings, they'll bleep them. But yeah.
So,
but the best thing about Breaking Bad is then that takes you in the Better Call Saul, which is.
Yes, I have not met Saul yet.
Oh, we've missed a bunch of announcements. I think the Suicide Squad trailer actually dropped betwing now and the last time we did the podcast.
That is legit. That is legit.
That is hardcore legit.
I am so talking about the Harley Quinn kind of vibe.
And so that's exactly what I was going to say, Matt, is if you're all in on that, then you will be all in on Harley Quinn. Because it is the same vibe, the exact same vibe.
Matter of fact, there was an article
covered in penises.
Yeah, that was amazing. Matter of fact, there was an article I read about the talk about the similarities between King Shark in the Suicide Squad versus Harley Quinn, because they both have the same kind of look, and like the comic books, he was always more of a hammerhead.
Yeah,
and they went with more of like
a great white.
Great white with like kind of like a pudgy great white kind of look, and that's the exact thing that happened in Harley Quinn too.
Yeah.
But apparently they were both done in like parallel and just kind of happened, to be kind of similar.
It's probably easier to animate, and
Well, that's
eyes
what they
are
said.
way
They said it
easier,
was
yeah.
way easier, like, for like logistics in the movie. Stylistically for Harley Quinn, though, it just works.
Isn't it Sylvester Stallone in
It
Suicide
is,
Squad too?
yeah.
Isn't it?
That is, I did not know that. That is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also what dropped was the trailer for Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh, I didn't see that.
What?
I mean, I knew Jupiter Legacy was coming, but I didn't know that. I didn't see a trailer. drop.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah, that looked good.
It looked real good. Real
That's their
good.
boys' response.
Mark Miller can't really do any wrong. I mean, after I watched the guy do an eyeball shot and go blind, there's not much bad I can say about the man and his work.
I couldn't. The comic didn't click with me in the first couple of issues, so I dropped it. But
yeah, I didn't like. I mean, I started the comic also, and I also dropped it. But I guess the easiest way to say it is with movies and trailers, you kind of have more of a overarching
feel of the arc.
Yeah. And this looks real. I mean, it basically looks like what happens if you have an aging Justice League and you're trying to train the second or the
generation.
Next, yeah,
except they're all celebrity.
Exactly. And it's not
Yeah.
going to go very well. That's the short answer. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that looks real interesting. So there's that. I'm trying to think, were there any other announcements / trailers?
The only thing I have that I found while I was scrolling around was right now on PS5 there's an open beta for Final Fantasy 14 for the PS5 version.
So
I am going to get. I've downloaded it. I told because Mitchell plays. He's caught up. He's up to the 5.5 patch content in 14, and he's been playing it pretty regularly. So, as an experiment, just to see what it was like and see how it played, I figured I would go ahead with the free beta, with the beta test trial, and I would play with him because it's supposed to have cross domain because he's been playing it on PC and it's supposed to be cross platform. So I figured I'll go ahead, try it, and play it for a bit and see how it goes.
So let me tell you about that. So I downloaded it, and I went to play it, and it has Lexi's screen name come up as the account on hand. And I tried to change it, and obviously there's no way to change it. It auto pre-fills in. So I happened, because I'm the one that set up her account, I went to the Square Enix website and I went to go to try to disengage her Square Enix account from my PSN. Because what had happened was when I lived in Michigan, which was 10 years ago.
Eons ago.
Yeah. She decided she wanted to play Final Fantasy 14. She didn't have a PlayStation nor her own Square Enix account. So we made her own Square Enix account and tied it to my PlayStation so that she could play. She never did, but it's now tied to my account. So I can't use my account on my PlayStation Network. So I followed the instructions to fill out the form to request Square Enix to disengage her account from my PSN, and they denied her because she is not, she owns a full copy of the game, and therefore they only disengage trials and free trials and demos.
And oh wow.
And so I can never play Final Fantasy 14 with my own account on that. I would have to play as her because I was going to do the same thing. And then I was like, nope, screw you, Square Enix. I'm done. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
That falls
okay.
under, that falls under the nothing works.
Nothing works. I have found some more stuff if we want to.
All right, what'd you find?
Dig into it here. Okay. First off, I guess this is newest to oldest, but in terms of trailers, a F9 i.e., the Fast and Furious ninth movie, had a trailer drop, and cars are flying into space and things are just insane. And I've only ever seen through Tokyo Drift, so I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, I know that's a big one. I will catch up on this series someday because it just seems like it is the most ridiculous thing ever. But I do enjoy Vin Diesel, and just that entire just thing is just super insane. So that was another trailer that dropped. Netflix announced that they are doing a live action Gundam movie with the director behind Kong Skull Island and none other than Brian K. Vaughan writing the script. So that pairing gives me some hope. The history of live action anime adaptations is not by and large great. There have been a couple of real good ones, one excellent one. But yeah, so we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if they go a completely original direction or if they try to adapt the storyline or what they do. It'll be interesting to see. But hopefully it's a good. No launch date, no nothing. Just the fact that they're doing it was all they announced.
Mortal Kombat got pushed a week from April 16th to April 23rd as a release date.
Yep. Rumor has it that a lot of the renewal dates are mid-month, so that pushed people into having to renew another month to get that. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the rumor. Star Trek is going to have a new movie in 2023. What timeline? What actors? What director? Don't know, but there's going to be a Star Trek movie.
Hopefully Tarantino's directing it.
It could be the Tarantino movie.
See, because again,
that's not happening now, right?
It could.
Gone.
No, it could.
Who knows?
It's never officially been dropped. I'm a purist, but I would love to see a Tarantino take on Star Trek as a genre. That would be amazing to me.
Talk about deconstruction, but yeah. Indiana Jones 5, which does not have a lot of details about it yet, added Phoebe Waller-Bridge as the female lead, and John Williams, who I swore to heck was retiring after episode 9, is doing the score.
And you missed it, but they also brought on Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that today. Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen, presumably the villain because, well, it's Mads Mikkelsen, but nothing confirmed on that yet.
Rick and Morty season 5 will start in June 20th, to be exact.
Happy birthday to me.
And on June 20th, Adult Swim has announced that it will be Rick and Morty Day, a day-long celebration of the show that will offer behind-the-scenes footage, looks ahead for the rest of the season, and special surprises across TV, digital, and social media platforms.
There's a lot of good Rick and Morty episodes, dude. You'll like it.
I will give it a go.
It gets incredibly dark at times.
What is it on? I forget which. Is it on?
Warner, HBO Max.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max now, and Hulu. Okay. I think it's also on Hulu.
HBO Max.
Yes, I call it
HBO Max. So apparently there was an I think it was oh shoot, what's his name? The guy that writes. He works for Bloomberg now.
Jason Schreier.
Yeah, that guy wrote a scathing tell-all about how Sony's falling apart because they're focusing only on big budget exclusives and that they're cannibalizing from their own teams and they're shutting down different stuff. And going to
why do we need a Last of Us remake? We don't. But so anyway, that was some interesting stuff in there. But one of the things that came out of that is that Bend Studios did can a Days Gone sequel, but now have greenlit a game that sounds exactly like Days Gone, except it's going to be a different universe. So that is just really weird. So there is some bizarreness going on with Sony, which we've known ever since the changing of the guard and leading up into the PS5 release, that things have just been a little off. And then Ancient Aliens is getting a movie being done by the showrunner of Cobra Kai.
and that pairing altogether is maybe just cool enough that it might be awesome. So I'm kind of semi-excited about it. Plus, the Aliens guy made a cameo in Resident Alien, which
Yeah.
is pretty hilarious. Which is
I
pretty
thought that was
hilarious
fun.
and very self-aware.
Well,
So
and speaking of good director pairings, the director Adam Wingard of Godzilla vs Kong has already said that his next project is Thundercats,
Wait, what?
feature film adaptation of Thundercats.
Wait, what?
hopefully it isn't like the 80s Masters of the Universe adaptation where most of the show is a bunch of kids running around and then there will be like 5 minutes of Thundercats at the very end.
He says that he does not
Nice.
want to tone down the 80s aesthetic of the original property.
So does that mean we get naked Thundercats for the first 20 minutes?
Well, he also says that he doesn't plan on making a movie that resembles the 2019 adaptation of Cats. So
Nice.
there's
Well,
that.
since they didn't have tails, that would be easily.
Yeah.
So we're on the right side of things for that. Like basically,
Exactly.
oh god, like now I'm picturing like the look and feel of like Flash Gordon from the
Yeah,
80s.
yeah, that's
with
exactly what I
Thundercats.
want with Thundercats.
And I really like that was. I'm sorry, that movie is magic in a bottle.
Yeah.
And especially when you like look back at like how that was actually made, which apparently it was like a disaster from like how things were working with that movie. Like it the fact that it even got made was amazing.
Episode 1, Season 6 of The Flash, they finally paid for the frickin' rights for the Flash Gordon song, and it made that whole
I have been
thing so
waiting
much
for you
better.
to see that.
It was
Do you
so
remember-
great.
Do you remember when I brought it up on the podcast one time? I was like, "Has anybody watched Flash?" And you were like, "No, I'm like a year behind." And I'm like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
That
No,
was it.
it-
That was the scene.
It was fantastic.
It was amazing.
That was super great. Super, super great. They used it perfectly.
Yeah.
And it was so far fetched that I think that actually somehow made it plausible. Like
Yes.
made it
it
okay.
made it even better.
It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
That was
And this
so much fun.
this director also has a sequel to John Woo's Face Off in the works. So maybe it'll
What?
be Face On. I don't know.
Shut up. Stop it. Just stop. You're not helping. Another-
They can't see me do it because
Another Nicolas Cage classic.
That is a underappreciated movie.
It is, you know, something like as much as like, you know, people crap on Nicolas Cage for stuff. I'm sorry. Some of those movies are like Face Off is great. It's just a lot of fun. I'm a huge fan of Con Air. As awful as that movie is,
That is one of
really
those.
bad.
It's really bad, but it can be enjoyed in that capacity.
Yeah, I mean, it is just like I watch it, and it's just got all these great people in it, and they're just like goofing off and everything. I mean, that cast is stacked in that movie.
Mhm.
So it's just like I don't know. It's hard to hate that. It's really hard to hate that movie.
Russell Crowe joining Thor 4 in Thor Love and Thunder.
Oh my god, I just watched a Russell
Right
Crowe movie that was awful.
Is it the one where he was this?
Deranged.
Yeah, that's bad.
Did you say
very
it?
bad. Yeah.
It was just like I don't like the victim shame. I don't like the victim blame, but that whole movie could have been avoided.
Oh, very. Yep. No, not at all. Even hard. Yeah, that was. Yeah. No, that was. My wife wanted to watch it. We rented it because like this whole group of women she was talking to were all like, "This is the greatest movie ever," and we just
No.
sat there and we're like, "What the ever loving fudge have these people seen for movies?" Because this was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it was like unnerving and like, you know, kind of like, oh, you know, that's scary because like somebody like that could be out. Like, yeah, but also at the same time, like easily avoidable. Sorry, my bad. Credits roll.
Yeah. Or lock your car when you walk away from it in the
Yeah,
city,
there's-
or any number of.
I'm pretty sure you guys overlooked this one. Marvel's MODOK cast John Hamm as Iron Man.
I had not seen that.
Actually, I didn't realize that they. Yeah.
Because that's the one where Patton Oswalt is MODOK, right?
Yes. You saw the trailer for
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Actually.
That whole claymation look to it. When is that? Is that airing? That's got to be airing soon. I'm dying for that show.
It's a Hulu, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Which why?
I'm looking to see if it's got a release date.
It looks like May 21st.
So another month still.
Sweet.
Space Jam: A New Legacy. I'm just gonna roll right past that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's all 10 episodes releasing on the 21st of May.
Oh, they're dumping it all at once.
Yeah.
HBO signs George R.R. Martin to a 5-year, 8-figure deal, which means he's never going to finish this book.
He's going to do what? Make one episode of one show, and that'll be it?
Probably.
Well, they're probably just like, we see what happens when they're following his stuff. So maybe if he just writes directly for the TV show, it'll be a little faster.
Well, that also means they're never going to get that Elden Ring done, right, too? Because now he's got something else to distract.
Yep.
Nice.
I mean, I think him and Patrick Rothfuss are in a standoff for who can delay their book longer.
I mean, you just say, you know what? It's gotten away from me. I have no idea what to do. I'm sorry. And just say it's done. You decide the ending.
I actually would be super upset about that if they ever came out and did that, because
but at the same time, I'd respect it.
I mean, even Robert Jordan, even though he died, they managed to finish off his books, right? They still finished it. And let me say, that Sanderson thing was like jumping into a cold pool when you weren't ready for it, because that guy, like, he was Jordan. And if you've never read the Wheel of Time series, it is an acquired taste. I started when I was in college, when I was just starting in college, and they were already on book 5 by that point. And I think there were a total of 13 books by the time everything was said and done. And Jordan tells a story. He has, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. He takes 1,000 words to paint the picture, and you have that picture in your head. It is the only series that I have ever read where there are 42 main characters and maybe 120 supporting characters, and you know all of them. You know who they are. It's not like this one's like that one. No. You know everybody and who they are, because he does such a good job. But a lot of people can't deal with that level of detail. And so it's kind of slow. Every book is 1,000+ pages, and it can be kind of slow. So when Sanderson took over the last 3 books,
I'm exhausted hearing you just say this.
I know. When Sanderson took over the last 3 books, it was like suddenly we transitioned from that into a John Woo movie, and everything was moving so fast that it was like, oh my God, slow down! I'm getting whiplash here. It was horrible. I mean, it was not horrible, but it was different, and eventually I grew to like it more than the original, and it was a satisfying conclusion because he had written down the notes for how he wanted it to do. And instead of making one 3,000-page book, which is what Jordan had wanted, they broke it up into 3 1,000-page books. And this guy basically just wrote it from the notes. And it was fantastic. It was like you were on a train, and the train was approaching the end of the tracks, and you could see the end of the tracks coming. And it was like, let's go. It was very different from the first, 9 books of the series that came out. It was
funny.
That's my digression there. I think that's it for news. Ghost of Tsushima is getting a movie adaptation.
The John Wick people, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And the motion capture and voice actor said he is willing to have a bare butt naked scene if he gets to be able to play the role in the movie.
There's going to be a Tokyo Ghost adaptation. Pierce Brosnan is Dr. Fate.
Yeah, solid.
I'm all right with that. 10-episode National Treasure TV series reportedly on the way.
Like with Nick Cage, or
I'm not sure. Let's see what it says. Maybe he needs money. New cast of characters.
Yeah.
But Bruckheimer is
Bruckheimer's not what made that movie. Let's not even go there.
Yep, nope, it's new people. Wait, what? WizKids announced it's developing its largest tabletop role-playing game miniature to date. A premium model of Tiamat, the 5-headed chromatic dragon, for under $400. Looks like it's 28.9 inches wide, 14.6 inches tall. It's almost as tall as that Optimus Prime, dude.
That's huge.
It is. Blah, 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 blah. No. Stop. Why can't I turn it up? There we go.
Don't know.
If it makes you feel any better, I didn't hear anything.
Yes, you did.
I did?
No, actually, we didn't.
Really?
No. Yeah.
No.
That's strange. You should have. So they're showing the render of it. It's the wingspan is massive. I don't know if I can zoom out here to show it. Give me 1 second. Where is the VCam? There's the VCam. Webcam settings. Camera control. Let's see if I can get this to work. Nope, that's pan. Nope, that's wrong way. Zoom out. Oh, boo. Everything except what I wanted to do, which is the top of the... I have the black dragon, which I think is the largest one right now.
Wow.
Let me grab it.
Did you see that the system that used to be Versus is getting a Boku no Hero set?
So
Let me walk you through a hypothetical.
What the hell?
did you do?
So the old system and not the...
No, it's
not the 2PG.
Universe. It's Universus now, but it's still, which is still Versus. It's just slightly different card backs and stuff. But that is a big boy.
Yeah. So this is the black dragon, which is pretty massive in size. It's almost the size of Dave's cat.
With the wings.
Did you
without
see?
the wings, it's a cat snack.
It's pretty meaty. So a 5-headed one with the wingspan is like much shallower, so it's gonna take up a lot of space.
Wider, yeah. That's cool. So yeah, it is a Universes set, but since Universes is compatible with UFS, it's still basically the same system, just some tweaks. to it.
So it's the
Different card
UFS.
backs.
It's the UFS card game, not Versus.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's UFS. Sorry.
Yeah,
UFS
you said
which
Versus. I was like, what?
No, sorry, it's Universes. Yeah, so it's because it's multiple universes, but it's universes.
No, I got it. Yeah, UFS.
UFS,
Yeah, that's cool.
but it's the old UFS system. So yeah, that's pretty.
That is cool.
So it's a Bakugo and Deku starter deck, and then the standard booster packs.
I don't think there's any more news. Do you have any more news? I don't think I have.
I'm tapped out. I'm sure there's more out there, but I think we've given a good old go for it.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much back to the last.
I know they're releasing all the original Shantae games on the Switch.
Oh, the half genie.
Wow. Okay. I thought I was the only one that even knew about that.
No, I knew what you were talking about too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've never played one, but they've always reviewed well and been highly thought of.
It was funny because they originally came out. The first one came out in a Game Boy Color, and that's the one that like hasn't been around for a while. And I remember somebody brought that up, and I'm like, oh, I was like, I have that game. I was like, I have that game somewhere, and I opened up my desk drawer where I have my emergency Game Boys, and Shantae is like the first game, like sitting right there, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's right there. That's convenient.
Well, that's going to bring us to the part of the show where we like to thank all of our supporters. Thank you, everybody on YouNow for sending likes, for becoming fans. We appreciate you. We made it up to ninth on gaming tonight, so that's good. On Twitch, you can support us by clicking the subscribe button. What? Ninth on YouNow. You can click the like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new content, which is almost every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. Or you can head to patreon.com/Gamersledge, where you can get your name on every single show that we do for as little as $1 a month, just like the fine folks that are scrolling across my screen right now. And we'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Naomi, John, Regina, Lexi, Ramy, Axe, Mark, Eric, Tim, John, June, Pat, Dave, Kevin, William, and Turo. Thank you all for supporting the streams. And that's going to bring us to final thoughts. Matt, final thoughts.
Final thoughts are I really need to catch up on comics because I still haven't read The Last of King in Black. There's one more issue of Venom before Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman leave the title for good. I don't think they've announced the next creative team that's taking over Venom, assuming it's going to keep going. And they haven't announced what Cates and Stegman are working on next, but we know they are working on something for Marvel next. So I also am kind of really, now that I poo-pooed on it so hard at first, really kind of looking forward to Heroes Reborn by Jason Aaron. And yeah, comics. What up, yo?
Dave, final thoughts?
I don't know. I really, this is too much pressure. I didn't think of anything this week.
What's something you Space Shuttle? You kind of previewed it. Give you
We'll do that. Good job. Thank you. So this is hopefully my weekend project.
How many pieces?
Legos. It is 2,354 pieces.
And are you recreating your dad time with Alex for this?
We do, maybe not so much for this one because it's more complicated, but we do a lot of smaller sets and stuff like that. He was making a list of fun things he wanted to do this weekend, and some of it was like, playing games, having a movie night, watching TV, watching a new show with that, and also, building a couple Lego sets because he's got a couple in queue. Like over there, we just did this one the other week. There was like this kind of like space rover mobile lab thing. We just did that last weekend. So
I do want you to know that my wife looks at your Facebook posts of him and says, "How did they get such a cute child from Dave?"
Yeah, no, I agree. I've gotten paternity tests.
That's not where I was going with that, but all right, sure.
Yeah, because I look at them and I'm just like, really?
They're especially when he's looking impish, there is definitely resemblance there.
No, he's got a lot of my personality, for better or for worse.
Worse.
Yeah. But he's got my taste in music, and I'll give it. The
That's
kid's
good.
got good taste in music. The other day he was just like, there was a Mike Dowdy song he heard on like a mix CD I had, and he was just like, "Oh, can you add that to my playlist?" I'm like, "Yeah." So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. he's been getting better with playing games with him and stuff like that, and building the Lego and stuff. I'm in the enjoying dad phase right now.
Well, my final thought for the week is if you are looking for something to do for free, DC Universe Online has the World of Flashpoint. It is a free expansion that everyone can play. You don't need a subscription. You don't need to buy it or anything. And it's actually just went live today, I believe. So that's something you can do if you got some time to kill. Unfortunately, I don't, so I won't be able to partake of it, but it will be there later. So there's that. And that brings us to the point of the show where I leave you all with a sage piece of wisdom to carry you over until the next time we meet. Hey, Dave.
Oh, God, no.
A pirate goes to the tattoo parlor to get his ears pierced. Do you know how much he paid?
Dude, I'm not saying Buccaneer.
Until next time, game on.
Hate you. So upset that I got that.